Hello, this is Sukanya with episode number 10. The previous 4 episodes mapped the journey of Seshadri Swamigal, culminating with his stay at Tiruvannamalai. One of our listeners came forward to share their family's association with Swamigal that has spanned over 5 generations. Yes, you heard it right. For close to 60 years, this family has been devoted to Swamigal and has felt his presence in many incidents in their lives. I'll relate a few in this episode. We start with the story of the listener's great grandmother. She lived in Onjalur near Erode with her son and daughter in law. I'm calling the son Ramakrishnan for easy reference. Ramakrishnan was the breadwinner of their extended family, fulfilling many responsibilities at a young age. Though he was a dutiful son, he fell victim to a few vices. The woman and her son's wife were troubled by his behavior, but since he otherwise was of exemplary character, could say nothing. This led to a strong bond between the two women. They started visiting Seshadri Swamigal's Adhisthanam at Onjalur to find solace. During these visits, they had the opportunity to participate in the Yoga Peedam sessions when Swamigal communicates with his devotees through a human medium. The backstory of the medium is interesting on its own. Even though Swamigal left his body in 1929, he continues to communicate and bless devotees through a medium. Kaveri Ammal lived with her family at Erode between 1877 and 1962. Deeply religious, she felt a strong connect with Swamigal, of whom she had heard of. Once, when she visited Tiruvannamalai and was doing puja, Swamigal appeared before her and asked her to give something, saying that he was hungry. She gave him one of the bananas kept for the puja. Swamigal put half of it in his mouth and the other half in the mouth of Shivaramakrishnan, her 5-year-old son who was with her. This was the Hasta Diksha or the ordination by touch of Swamigal, by virtue of which this boy later became his medium. His family continues to be connected to Swamigal. And back to our listener's story. During one of these visits, Ramakrishnan happened to accompany his mother and wife to the Adhisthanam. While in the session with the medium, he got a message from Swamigal. Who is sitting there and chewing tobacco? She is your Mahalakshmi. Normally, the son would have reacted angrily at being questioned. What happened instead was a total transformation. Something changed overnight and he became a devotee and a lifelong follower of Swamigal. Thus ends the story of how our listener's grandfather was reformed. Moving on to the next generation. Ramakrishnan had a daughter of his own. When she came of marriageable age, he was told to build a temple in Madurai by Swamigal through the medium. Worried that he was tasked with this project when he should be focusing on getting his daughter married, he objected. Swamigal said, "Let this be a contract between you and me. You build the temple, I will take care of your daughter's marriage." Some days later, a young man arrived from Bihar to visit his sister in Onjalur, who was also Swamigal's devotee. When he was due to leave, Swamigal through the medium enquired if he was married. His sister said they were looking out but nothing was working out. Swamigal suggested he extend his vacation by a week. Meanwhile, through the medium, a telegram was sent to Ramakrishnan, who was then in Srirangam, and that read, "Boy found, make arrangements ready." They rushed to Unjalur to meet the boy. To their dismay, the horoscopes of the boy and girl didn't match. They went to Swamigal for an explanation, and he calmly said, "Will I lead you astray? There must be something wrong with the way the boy's lagnam was constructed in the horoscope. Get the horoscope redone and see if there is still a problem." To their surprise, it was just as he was told. There was a mistake in the boy's horoscope, and once rectified, the horoscopes matched perfectly and the wedding went forward. Thus goes the story of how our listeners' parents were married. Now we move to the next generation, and in focus is our listeners' parents. After his marriage, our listener's father, whom we shall call Swaminathan, also became an ardent devotee. Here is a very thrilling incident where the lives of Swaminathan and his wife were saved through Swamigal's intervention. Swaminathan was a general manager in a top cement company during the 80s. and he was posted at a remote plant during the time the Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi, was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards. A Sikh security officer at the plant rejoiced at the news and distributed sweets. And this obviously did not go down well with the local laborers, and he immediately became their target. Ironical that one who should be a protector now needed protection himself. A responsible Swaminathan organized with his head office to relocate the officer out of the plant. However, he had to first save him from the fury of the local mob that was gunning for him and hid him in his own house. The violent mob demanded that Swaminathan hand over the officer to them, threatening that if they had to find him themselves, they would behead Swaminathan too. As the mob approached their house, his wife, our listener's mother, prayed desperately in front of Seshadri Swamigal's framed image in their home, asking for protection. The security officer was actually hiding behind a big rose bush in their garden when the crowd surged in through the gate. However, despite an intensive search of the full premises, they surprisingly could not spot the officer and had to go out empty-handed. This was nothing short of a miracle. The next day, the security officer was bundled into a train disguised as a woman and escaped the mob's fury. A couple of months later, our listener, along with her father Swaminathan and mother, visited Swamigal's Adhisthanam at Unjalur. They were shocked to hear Swamigal communicate through his medium Sesha Shankaran. Hey, did I not help your security officer escape? Did I not protect you then? Truly stunning, as there had been absolutely no communication between the family and the Adhisthanam on any matter, including this. And the family themselves had forgotten the incident till he brought it up. And here ends the story of the listener's father and the Sikh security officer. Coming to the listener's own experience. Once she accompanied her parents to meet an aged spiritual guru. Seeing him sit in a unique posture that was exactly like Seshadri Swamigal's and feeling his aura, everyone around him considered him as Seshadri Swamigal's proxy. He asked her to sit and tugged on her arm painfully. When she exclaimed in pain, he said, "Don't worry, let it hurt. I am helping you extinguish some of the karma you have to experience in this life." The years that followed, according to the listener, had been some of the most difficult in her life. Her father died, mother got chronically ill, and there were many other serious issues. By her own account, she says she could not have imagined facing these many problems as calmly and stoically as she has been able to, attributing it to his grace. And the last story is about the listener's daughter. Our listener was keen to get her married to a well-qualified boy. Swamigal, through the medium, gave his blessings. The message was that as the boy had Meena Lagnam, the alliance will work. But the marriage proposal went through testing times and was on the verge of collapse. Ultimately, issues were sorted out to finalize the alliance and the marriage went forward. Faith in the blessings received helped the family face the issues positively to overcome them ultimately. And thus ends this episode, mapping 5 generations of experiences with Seshadri Swamigal. From here, we move to a new topic with the next episode. Thanks for listening.